Welcome, guys, and here we are behind the swipes again. This week, thanks to your votes, we have jswiggity. You want to say hi, jswig?
Hey everybody, how we doing?
All right.
Nice, excellent.
Yep. You heard their responses in the comments below, I'm sure. And
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
as I said, thanks to all of you guys' votes, we now have jswig. I think he won by a decent margin over a few others. There was some close contenders and then some not some close contenders. Um, but yeah, so here we are with him today. All right. So, when did you start playing .o?
Okay, so I think my actual day of starting the game was probably beginning of March 2020, and I joined the server in 2018, probably I think May or June. So I joined the server then, just kind of see. I found the game randomly on the forums because I was just thinking about it from the past. I didn't actually download it then. I kind of left the server because I got spooked by the APK, and then re-downloaded it. Started up again in March. It was about a year and a bit ago now.
Fantastic. And so how did you find .o? That was through the forums you were saying?
Yeah, I was just randomly on YouTube watching some videos to just waste some time, and eventually got one of the classic De Beers fans, Godzuna videos. I was like, huh, I wonder if that project is still up and running, and I guess it was, and I was able to get it, so it was pretty cool.
Fantastic. And your reputation as a player. Now, I believe that you're considered one of I would say, the whales of the game. There's a few in the game, and I reckon that you're one of them, thanks to your band composition and the fact that you have some fighters in the back pocket. Would you agree to those statements, or would you think otherwise?
I mean, I guess technically in the grand scheme of players, I would be considered one of the more wealthy ones. So I guess that's a fair evaluation to it. Yeah.
Yep. And you do place pretty high at events and stuff as well, so I'd say a lot of your riches come from that, just being such a dedicated player.
Definitely, and much more capable nowadays than I was before since I started on an emulator, and I've eventually switched to playing on a throwaway phone.
Yep, some people have burner phones for murders, and some people have burner phones for Dodo, I guess. Oh, all right. What's your favorite part of Dodo?
uh, it's got to be the community. The people are a lot of fun. I really enjoy messing around with everybody, especially in those the really good events where there's a very plentiful top 10, top three. There's a good competition going. When people are kind of everyone, a lot of people are excited about the game. It's the best time to play the game, in my opinion.
Yep. That's very fair. I would say that's a very good point, and a lot of people I think are here for the community. We have a pretty tight community, I'd say. More of a family, if anything.
Definitely, it's definitely different, a lot different than a lot of other Discord servers I'm in. So it's very interesting. I'm able to come and have conversations and shit post and do a lot of stuff I wouldn't be able to do in say a bigger games Discord.
Yep, 100%. Okay, what's your views on giveaways? Now, not loaning or renting anymore because that's gone. So, what's your views on giveaways?
Um, it's funny that the renting is that happened to be a recent change. But, I definitely think giveaways are fun. I don't really mind them too much. I've given away a lot of stuff as well in my time, just because it's fun. I do enjoy it, especially since I'm kind of I like doing little puzzles for my giveaways rather than just straight up giveaways. But I don't see anything particularly wrong with it. I think it's all good fun. People just have things that they want to give to others, and allows more people to play, get involved. It's just something fun to do.
Yep. Now, for the people that are listening, just the record, we are recording one day after the update came out, where Superviews was introduced, and where loaning and renting, that kind of stuff is now banned. So just to clarify with the people. Also, I'm going to ask it anyway, but even though it is banned, what is your view on loaning and renting? I would say you're a pretty big loaner back in the past, so I'd say you're for it, but you want to give us some more details?
Yeah. Um, so it's a bit of like tricky situation now since I think like the whole thing with renting and like it becoming kind of a problem for like fighter distribution and like I was talking to a few people about it. I personally think it's like not that big a deal. Um, but I can see how it like causes a lot of problems in the grand scheme of things, especially with how like borked the awards are and the reward distribution is. How like I don't know, some events like Lady of the Lake, you're able to rent somebody's OP line, get the legendary at some very small, minute cost, or a little bit more for some people. Like in my case, where I asked people to rent, like people rented my line in exchange for an epic of the Lady of the Lake, which I don't usually charge that much, but it was just I was competing that event. I didn't have time. I
Mm.
honestly think it's fine, but like it causes a lot of problems, and I guess canceling it all and altogether just solves a lot of things. So
Yeah, I think it definitely makes it a lot easier for the tracking measures of stuff as well. It's hard to tell what's actually being loaned for like big, nice, and what's funneling to alts and stuff like that.
yeah, it becomes a little unfortunate though for like people who just want to like try out fighters. Like I know for a fact when I was a lot newer, I wanted to see how some fighters performed before I tried to buy some. So like before I even got my Hermes, for example, I asked Dobro, who, the staple Hermes guy in the server, hey,
Yep.
could I like borrow a line to like try this out? I just want to like see how this all works and maybe see if I'm like worth it. And like that would be like very chill now, but I don't know how strict it's gonna be or whatever, but I think overall it's a good change.
Yeah.
Probably better for the larger scope of people.
I definitely agree on that. All right. And what is your views on Superfuse since that's fresh off the press from yesterday?
I think introducing Superfuse into the current state of the game, probably not ideal, but I guess it makes sense. Like some of these changes are pretty like they were the OG dot, so like they're eventually gonna get implemented, and I think having Superfuse before reset, before like we everything gets start over with a better start, I think it's definitely nice to be able to work out the bugs and see how people test around. It definitely will. I feel like it will ruin the middle class of fighters
Mm.
because for people at the top, they're just gonna want to superfuse some of the best fighters possible for certain stats, which in most cases are going to end up being like 2 out of 2 legendaries or high tier epics.
Yeah.
And it kind of just makes it difficult for people to make that jump up to like end game, mid tier, mid game, end game. Because like before, like when I first joined, this it was the staple. Like you had to get a line of Nebu, a line of Esmelion, and then a line of Daria, and then that would be your band until you could get something better. Now I don't know. Like if events don't have tons of free rewards, I'm not sure how reasonable that jump is going to be. Like because players are not going to be able to access these fighters as easily, especially since they're getting all fused away. And drops are like Texite and stuff. They do drop some of these fighters, but it's definitely not going to be enough to like fill the community with the supplies it needs. So
Mm.
I guess I guess for now it's all right, but it might starve the economy in time. I guess it's just something that we'll have to see happen over the next few weeks, I would say.
Yep. I agree with those statements completely. Okay. What is the number one change you want to see in Defender of Texel Online?
Honestly, I think I, Reset, but like on a real note, I mean, if reset was to happen, it would probably be the best thing to happen since everyone would be able to be on a much better note, and everything wouldn't be as messed up as it is, just because of the power distribution. But if we just were applying a change right now to the way things are, it would probably be like prize distribution, maybe rearranging how like the prize brackets or changing the number of prizes that are given out to people via leaderboard, via rewards for points, rewards for streaks. Maybe I was thinking about this actually, like, you know how I think old PvP events used to have like a Banunu Rama or something, like you could fight a Banunu band, and if you fight the legendary epic, like you had a chance to get pieces from the leaderboard for fighting a specific arrangement of fighters from the event. I don't remember exactly how it was, but you know, implementing something like that could like spice up how PvP rewards were given out.
Yeah.
Things like that.
I can agree. I reckon some people may remember it, but I think it was kind of like a slot machine where it was like a band of like 9 of them, and if you got the right line of them, then you got like the top prize. I think from memory.
Yeah. And it was like something like an epic or a legend or something. I couldn't tell you what it was, and it was super unlikely that it was going to happen, but
yeah,
it would add like an element of like another element of randomness that's like beneficial, kind of like how serendipity was like an element of randomness that was beneficial to like playing events and not using as many resources.
Yeah, and it gives like things like bidders more value in PvP, for example.
Yep, definitely. Maybe including I know there's a lot of talk of people wanting gear dungeons back, or like a gear version of dungeon, more true dungeon style. That would definitely re-liven the stock for glue, because people would be more inclined to spend glue for, I don't know, gear instead. But yeah, like some changes to the way prizes are distributed would probably be the best change, via new updates or via just straight up changing the way that they're scaled.
Yeah. All right. Your reputation as a Discord member. Now, I think it kind of just reflects from what I've seen as you as a part of a player. So kind of like a guy that like walks in randomly and says hi, and everyone like kind of fangirls over you. There's a few people that are like that. At times, I'm one of them. I must admit.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was about to say, how do you see yourself as a Discord member here?
I would definitely say I'm like a lot less present than I used to be. I would say like when I first joined, I was pretty active in the community. I would say I was on a lot, just learning a lot about the game again and talking to people. And I would say like I try to be there more often and knowledgeable when I can, but you know, I'm still in the grand scheme pretty new compared to a lot of players. So
yeah,
being a Discord member, I kind of just shitpost now.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. So my additions to chat are not as useful as I would say they used to be, but occasionally when I'm not just spamming the stroke emoji or something, it's pretty fun. I would definitely say less now. My Discord presence is a little less now. It's good to see that a lot of people like talking to me. Like, I mean, I like to be approachable. And I tell a lot of people, like, if you ever want serious advice, just ask me in my DMs, because I'm not going to bullshit you there. I'm just going to tell you how it is.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Like the fact that my solo hasn't sold.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Like, just trying to flip opportunity, I see.
It was kind of a flip. It was more so I fucked up on Dread. I really thought his price was going to be higher, so I kind of went in on it. And he dropped. So not great. And I'm hoping I'm trying to recuperate with solo, but who knows? After Superfuse, it might just stay in my band as a boss slayer with 3 Kinabaris in it. I
mean, to be fair, solo is a very solid fighter, and I definitely advocate for that. Like to all the people who bought my solos, as bad as it sounds, but I mean, he's very solid. So I don't think you'll be too upset about that.
Yeah, and I mean, there's only like 5 or 6 of him out there, so yeah. Thanks, PvP. All right. What is your top 3 favorite fighters?
Orbo. No, I'm just. I've had to think about it. Like nowadays, in just this dot, it would probably be like Orbo at the top. But if I had to consider all the fighters from like OG as well,
Yeah.
I would definitely put Syracuse at the top
Yep.
because that is the sickest sprite that there is. Like if it was just like a shitty rare, I'd try to get every single one of them. It's awesome sprite. Then I would put Orbo after that, just because I love my Brookback Turkey.
Yep.
And then after that, third best fighter. I really I don't know. I'm a big fan of the Libni. I don't know. It brings back a lot of memories. The gold armored elephant.
That was like
So I don't know why.
that was my first actual epic in OG Dot too. Good times.
Really, that's funny. I joined OG Dot. I think I started OG Dot, and the first ever like epic I got was a Boldwin. I thought it was the sickest. I thought it was the sickest fighter around, dude. This priest is on a horse, and it was great times.
Yep. Yep. All right. Your favorite moment in Dot O?
Ooh, okay. Well, there's been a lot.
You can list multiple if you like.
Uh, let's see. I think one of like the best moments was for me personally was completing my Orbo line.
Yep.
That was crazy because I think Orbo was the first. That was the first event I ever played really hard on and went all out for. I sold everything I possibly could to get him, and that was a nice battle between me, Groom, and NXT.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, NXT. But it was probably one of the best moments. I got two max at the start, and then I got the last max over like the next 3 months. It was the most painful process, but finishing that was so awesome. After that, I would just say every like big event that I've like had to compete with, like super tight events, like Orc, for example. I think it was an early PvP. That was insane. It was me and like six other guys trying to fight for top 10 and people slowly dropping out. That like those are some of the most fun times I've had, as much as they were painful to resources.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of the same sort of answers what Fleeb gave. Is competing for the top prize and just the interactions between you as players and whatnot.
Yeah, because I like it's just like those final hours and stuff. Like you're playing your heart out, and I think that was the first and last ever time I straight ran out of Nux, and I had to buy Nux with Texi, and that was the shittiest experience I've ever had. Like, oh fuck, I gotta buy 50 Nux with my Texi. That sucks so bad. It cost me an orb. I wasn't able to get one of the orbs when they came out because of that. So I wasn't able to grind enough Texi in time. So
I mean, it
in
was
the end, it
worth
could have
it.
been worse.
Yeah.
It was worth it. I only lost like 200 Nux from that event, but it was worth it for the thrill, I guess.
Yeah. Now, do you have any fond memories of the OG Dot?
I was pretty shit in OG Dot. I'm not gonna lie. I think I was quite young, so I didn't really like the idea of saving up resources. I just tried to spend everything I had as soon as I got it. Wasn't really wise about my resource management, so I never got like a gold or a silver. I think I got a couple bronzes, but I never had more than like 50 Nux bits at a time. I would just play it all. And I think because of that, I was pretty ass. I didn't really have much in OG. And the best thing I ever got was a 0 out of 2 Nebu. And that is it. Didn't play it. I played it until the game died. And then I was able to, pick up stuff off the market because people were just, oh, it's over, it's whatever. But that I really didn't earn much. The best I've ever done was getting a Nebu.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Nebu was pretty sick back then. He's one of my favorite
Oh,
fighters from
oh yeah,
then.
definitely. No, it's no discredit to that. It's just in like looking at the grand scheme of fighters and the power creep that
Oh,
was available.
yeah.
Getting a Nebu, what is that? That's really weak. But my favorite event by far was the dungeon events, just because it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And those are the only ones that I wouldn't have to spend so many Nux bits on. So yeah, there's a lot of things about OG that I miss, especially like the tribal edge and the different dungeons and siege.
Yeah.
Hopefully coming soon. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes. There's not many things left on the list for Lambo to implement now, so maybe.
Yeah, I definitely think like I feel like Lambo's been doing a great job. Like he's been getting some new things out. I know he's pretty busy, but it will be definitely very cool to see what will happen once he gets more through those like important changes. Like once they do some of like the once he does some of the more important things that like need to be done for reset, like it's just a question of when, I guess. And then that's going to be a pretty crazy time in the Discord for sure.
Yep, definitely. All right. Well, the last one is: do you have any questions that you want to ask me?
Want to run some Rocket League? No, I'm kidding.
I can do that to push it
I,
to 30 minutes in the video for ad revenue.
definitely. I just realized we've been talking. We haven't really been talking that long. I guess I haven't. I'm not the best conversationalist, but
That's all good.
I guess health. Like, what brought you to Dotto? Like, what made you want to start the long grind and then quit? Like, you were pretty rich, I think. Like, you gave away like all of your glue too. You were loaded.
So, without revealing too much, just in case I put myself on the poll for the next potential episode,
Sure.
pretty much a big part of it was Neil. So I went to school with Neil, so I was pretty close to
Gotcha.
him. In that regard, we consider us best friends, I guess, at this point. Um, so he seen about this on the forum, and then dragged me into playing basically. Because I mean, I love the OG, so I gave it a crack. I enjoyed it. I've been here since the start, since it was released, all through the 1-and-1 jokes and all that crap. And yeah, so kind of just got to a point where I got to the top and just went, eh. And I got other life things happening, so just stopped. And then I didn't mind basically resetting, like back in KO event, which was I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, maybe a little bit. I had got terrible grasp on time, but
Fair. No, that's very fair.
yeah. I mean, I just like the game. I love the art, to be honest. The community's fantastic. Even though I'm a bit
Yeah.
of a shithead at times, to say the least.
At times. What do you mean at times? You mean all the time?
Come on, I'm civil right now. I have not say fuck or cunt
Oh man.
yet, till now.
Now it's demonetized. I'm not gonna get any much ad revenue on YouTube now.
Damn it. There goes my
uh,
3 cents I was looking forward to. Damn
damn,
it.
that's tough. Okay, do you have any? Yeah, I don't have any. Do you have any questions for me, like outside the script, like some things you want to know
Outside of
about
script.
the whale life?
I mean, I kind of had a grasp of the whale life for a short time and then gave it up because I got bored of it. How do you stay as a whale? Like, don't you get bored of it?
Oh no, definitely. I would definitely say my interest in the game has significantly decreased since getting a lot of what I need. And I think what kept me alive for many of the past months was just finding little pieces that would just give me that little bit of edge, like finishing my Hermes line. Like I had a 2 out of 3 line after giving up so much, and kind of stopped there. But OCD hit me, and it's like you haven't finished the game yet. You're good, but you can do better.
Yep.
And I guess like I made some sacrifices in some places, and eventually got to where I needed to be. I definitely I'd say I keep interest in the game now just by like talking with people and engaging with the community, even if I'm not like playing an event as seriously, because it's kind of annoying to be expected to to be somebody on the top of the leaderboard. It's quite a time commitment, and I don't really have that time anymore. So
Yep.
I'll be like phasing out slowly, I guess, but that's how I keep interest.
Yep. Okay. That's a fair point. Um, All right. Is there anything else that you would like to say before I close it out?
Um, who do you think is going to be the next? I guess a question to you. Like, who do you think is going to be next that you're going to interview? Because I guess like the poll results are kind of funny, especially since like Penguin was getting a lot of votes because people wanted to meet the Sandal. Like, who would you ideally want
Who would
on
I
the
ideally
show?
want? Oh, that's pretty unfair bias. Now I think now don't take it the wrong way, the rest of the people, but I think Eve would be fucking hilarious to interview. I'm not gonna
Oh
lie.
man, definitely.
I love Eve. He's absolutely hilarious every time I talk to him, and I love the guy.
Yeah, Eve is definitely a character every time he's in chat, and especially when we have like several voice chat or VC conversations. Like
Yeah.
the guy's got a lot of stories for us. So
He definitely does.
Probably be a little longer than me because I'm a bit stale when it comes to the stories. But
I mean, he
yeah,
also holds all the Dotto lore as well, so I think
that's
he'll
true.
go through the archive on the call.
Definitely. If I had to pick somebody, I actually really wanted Darway because I feel like it would be so funny trying to talk to Darway. I don't know why. Not a call out. But, I just feel that would have been really funny. So
Yeah.
be interesting to see for sure.
I reckon there'd be quite a few funny interactions with a few of the people in there.
Oh, definitely.
But that's kind of what I
All
want
right.
as well. Makes it more entertaining, I guess.
Yeah, instead of boring, just following the script answers like I just did.
Mate, that's perfectly fine. Short and sweet, and it just resolves back to your actual like way you are as a person and how you play. So,
Yeah, I guess straight to the point is how it works, right?
yep, straight to the top, no questions asked.
Yep. I don't have any more questions, so yeah, that was fun. Thanks for
Cool.
having me.
No worries. Thank you, Swig, for joining us, and thank you everyone that voted on the last poll. I'm not sure how we're going to do the next poll. I don't know if Lambo's going to put out another one, or if he wants that to be the kind of way that we do it, where we just poll it every maybe fortnight or so, and then interview someone. But yeah, if you guys are interested in being interviewed, please DM me directly on Discord. Don't ping me on in any of the servers or whatever, because I'll lose it. Because a lot of time I'm on the mobile, so I don't get to take a note of everyone if I'm using on my phone. But if you DM me, then I can go back to my computer and just write a list and say these people are interested, and then I can put on straw poll and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I'll try to make it looking. We'll try to do this every 2 to 3 weeks. That's the aim, and hopefully we can get the voices of a lot of the people from the community a bit more public. I think it'd be quite interesting and be quite fun. And with that, thank you again, Swig, for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me, and thanks for everybody voting me. Hopefully, I wasn't too disappointing in my in my responses.
That's okay. I'm sure most of your alts will be fine with you, with your answers.
Oh man. Alrighty.
Cool.
Fair enough.
All right, guys. Thank you again, and thank you for watching. If you have anything you want me to put into future questions or anything like that, then feel free to also DM me those as well. That's perfectly fine. I'll add them onto the script if I think they're necessary. All right, and with that, I will see you guys next time. Cheers, guys.
See ya.
See ya.